If you could say something to Donald Trump, what would you say to him? President Donald Trump.
Yeah, President Trump now, which is kind of weird to say, but to actually do right by the regular people who, and not just the big pharmaceutical companies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make it go through the proper channels before you go through the slash and burn of elimination of competition to the pharmaceutical companies.
Sure.
And before it even is decided or discovered whether or not it does have any kind of real useful properties or not.
That was very well put. It's interesting because since he ran on promises of helping out the veterans and all that stuff, I mean, almost sounds to me like people like yourself kind of expect him to do the right thing when it comes to Kratom.
I would expect him to do the next right thing, the fair thing for everybody, especially the veterans, because that's how I was introduced to it, was from a vet who was taking Kratom as an alternative to the medication that had done nothing but harm him. And that's how I was introduced to it, was there were so many veterans that were benefiting from it. That it made it easier for me to try it and say, well, if they're taking it, if it's doing good for them, then maybe it'll do good for me. Next thing I know, I heard doctors taking it opposed to the medication that they prescribe themselves, prescribe their patients. They take Kratom instead of what they prescribe. So
wow,
it's I've heard a lot of really unique, great stories about it. Yeah, my Kratom story is really pretty simple. I had a couple of back surgeries. Back to back, and neither worked, and I was given a ton of medication that I never should have been given in the first place. And as an alternative, I thank God found Kratom many years later after a bunch of things that never should have happened, because the doctors never should have allowed that kind of medication to be let out in the first place. But that's about it. Thank God for it, and because there's no side effects, or for me, no side effects, and it does what it's supposed to do, and that's it.
Sure. And I appreciate you taking a moment to tell us this stuff, specifically about President Trump now, because you've probably heard about the petition for him. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
So there's a petition that the Kratom users, consumers have filled out. 25,000 people have asked him to take a look at this, a lot of us veterans, and just to do the right thing, make sure that they stop messing with it, trying to ban it for the pharmaceutical companies to make higher profits instead of allowing us to use our natural medicine, right?
Right.
If you had using it responsibly, just controlling your medical situation, helping yourself, doing the right thing, what would you have to do if Kratom were to just disappear?
Well, I have no idea. I mean, that would it almost happened recently, and I almost went into a panic. I had no idea what would happen next, because I heard someone describe something as simple as coffee being illegal all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What that would do, it would just be anarchy. It would be crazy.
Yeah. Or like if Big Farm started, making a lot of money on potassium pills, you can bet bananas would become illegal.
Yeah, that's right. Either that, or they would all of a sudden own all the banana companies.
Is there anything that you can see like negative about Kratom that somebody could say on the other side, like, oh well, it does make your ear fall off, or anything crazy like
that? That's what has really been so surprising. I've been taking it for almost a little over a year, and I have not suffered one single negative side effect from it.
Wow.
Of course, I take a regular dose just like I would a medication on a daily basis.
Sure. To
help me with pain and other things, but I have not suffered one single negative side effect.
Yeah.
Like the laundry list of negative side effects that I suffered from the medication I was given by my doctors.
It doesn't like make you sick or intoxicated, none of that?
None of that. The only way I can describe it is medication.
Fair enough. Hey, thank you very much. Stop the ban! Stop the ban on Kratom! Stop the ban!